A lot of things going on with Echelon Fighter Management. We're only a couple weeks into operation right now. Already got all our paperwork done. We are officially a company. We got a few of the hottest fighters in all of BC on the roster. Gary St. Lion Mangat, Jason the Juggernaut Brooks, both making their pro debuts at Battlefield Fight League on May 28th. And then now we also got Ragin' Cajun Johnson, who of course is fighting out of the MFC in Alberta. My eyes were open to what Twitter can actually do for you from a fighter's perspective. While out at the tryouts for the Ultimate Fighter Season 14, beforehand, we had a video made up for Gary's benefit there to show exactly who and what he was, and there was upwards of 10,000 tweets to Dana White in a matter of a couple of weeks, and this was just people that were, hey, go get St. Lion on the show, and I was kind of like, holy shit, this is actually a viable way. And of course, everybody knows Dana loves his multimedia stuff. Shout out to Dana for actually realizing what was going on and having some love for Gary and seeing that everybody had put together, some effort to get that going. And that was the one thing we received back in feedback was that, hey, the marketing is there, the potential is there, get some pro fights, and, you guys are on the radar. And in terms of what I could offer, it's the fact that I don't give a damn. I'll go talk to anybody first for my fighter's benefit if I believe in them, and that's what happened there with Gary, and it worked out great because now we have a game plan for a guy who's just starting out in his pro career. So it'll be interesting to see how that helps and where it takes us in the future. But it's definitely a good start. If anybody that knows anything about managing talent, it doesn't matter if they're ready for the opportunity or not. If you can show them in front of a potential, client, boss, whatever it is, even if they aren't maybe ready at that moment and they're going to be ready soon enough, you take the opportunity. And anybody that says that's not the right move just doesn't get it. And I'm glad that we did it. Not to mention UFC 128 was okay too. Shout out to Bones Jones and Malky Kawa there. There's always talk about people that kept a positive mind state throughout negativity no matter what, and if you're positive it will come out in the end. And I was used to kind of pass that judgment when people would say that and think, okay, you got something easy and you're just trying to make it seem like you worked hard and shit. And I get it now though, because for the first time in my life, not only do I have something that I feel like I would be losing if I didn't have the chance to do what I'm doing every day, but it's a law of attraction thing. And even though I used to preach, law of attraction, positivity brings positivity, I was bringing negativity to my life both consciously and subconsciously. And that change is one of the coolest changes I can notice and identify in my life. If you want to do something, you can do it. You just make the phone call, get up, go and do the shitty legwork that nobody wants to do. But when you get home and you look at it afterwards and you run down what your day had in it and you see that maybe you made some moves that tomorrow are going to set you up to succeed, man, is it ever worth it? Living in the city is the biggest part about that. There's just not opportunities where I come from in Nanaimo that you'll ever find compared to what you can find over here. You're literally on an international scale, and that's it makes it so much easier to just be able to kind of network. And once you're inside the industry of mixed martial arts, you realize it is very small. It's a very small world, much as a lot of pro sports is if you get inside of the industry, whatever it might be. But it's been a really cool experience because all the fighters and everybody in the management game and the trainer industry and all that kind of stuff, even promoters, they realize that we're all just trying to push the sport and get it to that next level. We see it firsthand with the team, with the show every week that we do, and it's still tough to find sponsors on the biggest radio show or biggest radio station in all of BC. So we hope that the sport gets pushed a little more, for the positive side of it, and free shows on TV help. Organizations like the MFC in Canada do help, even though Mark can't bring them out here to Vancouver. Not yet anyway. We'll see maybe after this 2-year probation period, which all that's meant is one show from Dana so far and another one coming up. We'll see what it holds, but it's definitely appealing to want to take my fighters and go do something else, go and it's nothing against in any way Battlefield or anything, because I think Jay's got something great going on and the guys that fight with him will continue to. But for my other guys, there's nothing around the Lower Mainland. We got to look outside of it. Luckily that we have somebody like Jay that will do shows in Nanaimo and Darren Owen with the AFC and not let the Vancouver stigma and the Vancouver law hold back from having good pro shows. it's just they're too few and far between right now, and it's basically only due to the size of the promotions, right? And you can't have Strikeforce challengers, MFC, even a UFC circuit come to Vancouver. Nowadays, there's mixed martial artists trying to make it. It's the new hustle. It's not only is it pop culture, but it's also changed kind of the way you think about pro sports. There's guys from other genres of sports coming over to train with mixed martial artists, which I think is great. I think it's a no-brainer. But it's interesting to see that, how it's starting to change the mainstream, thought process. And unfortunately, Vancouver is still a very, very mixed martial arts ignorant city. Proof of that just goes by how long it took to just confirm UFC 131, which just happened like this past week. And we're like 2 months away, from the event, and they still don't have tickets on sale. They don't have they just made the announcement, so it shows that there's still some work to be done in it. I don't know much about sanctioning. I've gone to a couple of town meetings and stuff. Town meetings, I picture Homer Simpson with the bell. Hear ye, hear ye. Anyway, it wasn't really like that. Dave Rudberg's got his shit together, though. Like, he knows what's up, he understands the sport, and that's refreshing, to at least see the guy that's heading the meeting knowing what's up. But it's still going to take a little while until they realize what they need to focus on, which is the positives, instead of, focusing on injury. Oh, these guys were injured. Yeah, but they've all fought twice since the last card, Look at the hockey injury list with concussions, and, tell me that's any better than what's going on in the fight game. It really isn't. And it's exciting with stuff like the UFC buying Zuffa buying Strikeforce and owning the UFC and Strikeforce now. There's going to be so many more opportunities for challenger cards to be up here in Vancouver. There's going to be opportunities for fighters to get fights, for Echelon to be able to have local fighters that are fighting on a huge card locally. And with that comes huge sponsorship dollars. With that comes more notoriety to the promotion, of course, because they know they can call you and say, hey, we got a show in your area. What does your roster look like right now? And of course, we're going to have fucking tough guys that want to fight. I don't do no pretty boy shit. I don't want to have to bail anybody out of jail. I'm not all about that. I just want to represent guys that are tough, that are down to fight, and that know that that's what they want to do with their life. I'm excited to show you guys exactly what we have in mind, because we've got a couple fights coming up, a couple big fight announcements coming up, and also some new guys to add already to the Echelon team. So this week we get busy. Check in with you guys probably on a weekly kind of scenario here and bring you up to speed, and maybe sit back and have some story time now and again to let you guys know how I found myself here, ready to build this pro fighter agency into what it will be. So check it out. May's going to be an exciting month, but we got to deal with April 1st. A lot of preparation to get to those fights in May. Yeah, but I'm ready. Like, some of the experiences that make you who you are prepare you for some of life's journeys, and I think the journey that I'm about to go on, I've been primed for very, very well. And I know that I have a good team too. The guys that I've chosen to represent, and the my partner that works with me with Echelon. It's comfortable and it's great, and I can't wait to get to the next level. That next level right now is sponsorships. A whole lot of different things to do with sponsorships and fight announcements. And once some of those are ironed out, some more guys that'll be available through myself. And there's the email, echelonfm@gmail.com. If you're a fighter out there and you got your bio and everything's proper and you've done a little hustle of your own, don't think everybody's going to do everything for you just because you're talented. That's not how it works. So if you've put your own nose to the grindstone a little bit and you have something to offer, you don't have to be local. I don't care where you are in the world. Give me a shout. Hit me up on the email. We'll see what's up. As for locally, look out. Gary St. Lion Mangat fighting on May 28th. Jason Brooks fighting on May 28th, the Juggernaut. Be able to confirm opponents for those two guys very shortly. And Raging Cajun Johnson will be back in action. Looking at MFC 31, I believe, mid-July. And we'll have a confirmation on the opponent there real soon, too. Very, very exciting stuff. That'll be main card material, HD net. So very excited for that. For now, man, I guess we'll let you get at it. It's a Sunday night. Me and my unshaven face are going to take my dog for a 2-hour walk. Listen to last week's final round on Team 1410. Check that out on Saturdays. And we'll get back at you. We're going to land some sponsors this week and do it up. Echelon Fighter Management. It's 2011, and this is our year. And it's the Canucks year. Don't forget that. My boys, they're doing it up. Fuck you, Chicago. You're going down. 5 games tops. That's it. Nothing.